What's going on, everybody? Christian Hernandez here from Sports Feeder Group. We are here at Allegiant Stadium finally after a full year. We're at the Death Star, and I'm pleased to be joined by a pair of Justins from the Raiders. The guy to my left, if that's correct, is Justin Casserly, and the guy to my right is Justin Lange. How are you guys doing? Justin, you go first.
We're good. It's nice to actually have a building with fans. When we talked about this a year ago, we were going into a very awkward time around COVID and with all the planning and preparation, but really just for players and a couple media, it was kind of all for naught. So it's nice to see 18 months later for it to all come to fruition and have 65,000 fans responding and reacting well.
We'll get to that in a bit. But Justin, how are you doing?
We're doing great. It took a lot of time to get to where we are today. To be able to have fans in this building has been obviously a dream come true. You know, spending a whole year kind of waiting and hoping and wishing. Obviously, we spent a lot of time making improvements and getting operational feedback and really creating efficiencies. And at this point, you know, we've got a great team put together. The resources that Allegiant Stadium has allowed us to bring into this building, some of the best in the country. And I feel as confident as I possibly could with the team that we've been able to really establish here. That's Raiders, that's Allegiant Stadium, that's our partners in PPI who are doing a lot of the crewing that we do. It's been a fantastic experience so far, and we are really just very at the tip of the iceberg.
Right. We'll also get into the workflows and technology in just a second. Let me flip over to my other side. Justin, the shows are different now because fans are finally back. It's loud in here. Before the games even start, just talk about the preparation that you're doing with your team to make sure things are okay, things are gonna run properly when they do have to run, and just bringing the team together to make sure that the show goes on without a hitch.
Yeah, it's still, as Justin kind of said, it's still a lot of work in progress, a lot of discovery. Last year I was a team of one, now I'm a team of two, but the show is significantly more than just double that. I mean, between 19-piece house band, high-level acts for anthem with instruments and big performers for halftimes, big special stunts like we kind of have coming up this weekend and some of the future games. There's a lot going into it, and so with that, just the level of detail that's always necessary to put on a top-level production, especially at the NFL level, it kind of surmounts everything else in professional sports. And so while we're doing that with a skeleton crew on the full-time Raiders side, and then also still kind of training a lot of the control room staff, and we haven't had a rinse and repeat show to just say this is what you did last week and we're doing it again. Every week is something new. Every week there's a lot more complexities to each one. So with that, it's just constantly looking to improve, get better, and just really making sure that we're not letting anything slip through the cracks so we can keep everybody ready to go and keep entertaining the fans.
Right. All right. Before I go back to Justin, we mentioned how loud it is in here. Have you heard any feedback from the ownership group, from higher executives, from the team about what this atmosphere is like every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday night?
Yeah, 2 overtime games and both with wins certainly helped to start off the season. And the first official game regular season being home opener Monday Night Football, the crowd was loud. It was definitely a lot of silver and black. Raider Nation showed up, and that's really definitely what supported and got the team across the goal line with the winning touchdown. But it's still a little bit of a training process in this market and with the NFL fans here. They're rambunctious, they're energetic, they're here to party, but they kind of are still a little loud consistently. So we're looking to kind of train them a little bit, be quiet on offense, be loud on defense, but the fans are the players are recognizing it, and they're saying like there's no atmosphere that a lot of them have experienced. But with it, it's just kind of working with them and getting everybody on the same page with that. But no, ownership, executives, the entire front office is very pleased, very excited, and again, we've kind of kept setting the bar for ourselves. Where after a couple big halftime shows and performances, and it was kind of the stipulation of let's start off with a couple of Super Bowl games. We are kind of keeping our foot on the gas and looking to produce a Super Bowl level show here every single week, and riding off the excitement, the energy of the fans, and hoping to keep the wins coming too.
Terrific. Sit tight. We're gonna go over to this side. We're in the control room. So this is where you guys live, where all the new tech is kind of housed. Of course, the rack rooms across the way. Just give us a quick kind of nice packaged overview of the technology that's in here and how it was to kind of get everything online before, even last year when you guys were still kind of getting things together.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's an Alpha Video control room. I'm very familiar with Alpha Video control rooms. Worked in just about everyone in the Twin Cities. So, obviously coming into here, there was obviously some semblance of comfort. It's, really ROS heavy backbone, and that's down to the LED displays. Obviously, we're all ROS expression on the CG side, ROS QD switchers. We've got EVS on the replay side, Sony cameras with Canon box lenses. We have all the technology. We have all of the resources available to us to make this work for the Justin Casserlys of the world. And, you know, he is our primary tenant, but we've had Garth Brooks, Gold Cup, WWE already, Leagues Cup. We've had several major events outside of Raiders games, not to mention UNLV, who's our other primary tenant. This control room gets used a lot for a lot of different things. So we have to be able to flex it in and out for whatever comes into this building. And we have all the technology in place. And like I said earlier, we have the team and the staff in place to make that work. I mean, every week's a new challenge and a new experience with whatever is coming down the pipe for the Raiders. Obviously, like Justin said, we are absolutely pushing the bounds of what is, you know, normal entertainment at an NFL regular season football game. And so having all of those elements, it is a labor every week to put everything together when you have major things happening pregame, a major talent doing anthem, and a huge act doing a halftime show as well. There's a lot of moving pieces and parts on the technology side, and our job is to make his job easy so that he can make and create and do whatever it is that he wants to do, and he never sees anything happen on the back end because it's just done for him. So that's what I've always prided myself on. That's what our team always prides ourselves on. And that's the team that we've been able to put together here. We'll go out and do that every week. And we have all the resources, as you can see, to make that happen.
Right. I'll serve this question up to Justin, but I want to ask you this question first. From a technology side, you worked at US Bank Stadium, and at the time that was the latest and greatest in NFL technology and in-venue kind of presentation and all that stuff. But now Allegiant is setting, you know, the next step forward for where we go now. Where do you think in the future, when you look back at this build and all things around you right now, you know, what do you think the lasting impacts in terms of a technology and an venue experience?
Yeah, I think really the thing to think about is, I mean, there's always going to be new technology. We're pushing the bounds of HDR. 4K is obviously going to be more ubiquitous here in the near future. But really, what makes a good control room and what makes a good staff is the creativity and the flexibility. This room, I'm confident, is the most flexible room in the country right now. We can do whatever it is that needs to be done from whatever event perspective that needs to come in here. So the technology, the new bells and whistles, that's all one thing, but being able to be a turnkey solution for whatever event, whatever your main tenants would be, whether that be Raiders or UNLV, we are ready to do it here. And that is the extra work that we put in the last year, was to run the extra cabling. Our staff knows how to terminate fiber now with our fiber termination kit from Corning. So we have all the ability to do all the low voltage stuff that we could shop out. We can do that right in-house with techs that work for me on a daily basis, understand how we do things on an operational level, understand how we want to see it from a termination, from a cleanliness perspective, from a labeling perspective. You know, everyone knows how we do things here, and we do it in-house. And so we've been able to create that infrastructure that's going to allow us to flex for Final Fours, for Super Bowls, for all these different events that are going to need different things from us. And that's what makes a control room. We can put the bells and whistles in, we can put the fun stuff in, but ultimately, can you do what your event producer is asking you to do on a last minute basis, on a planned basis, on a ad hoc rental basis? What do you need? We can make it happen for you in this building. And that's really what it's all about.
Right. Built to last. Exactly. Built to last. Casserly, we'll close out on you. Kind of the same question, but from a more production entertainment side. When we spoke last year over Zoom, which is funny, I asked you some questions, and you're like, I'm not sure yet. We haven't, fans, now you're experiencing it. When you look back on this build, and when you think about an entertainment aspect of things in terms of production, where do you think, you know, Allegiant will stand the test of time? Do you think this will kind of be the benchmark for what's to come? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I do think it's a benchmark, and Lange kind of hit it on the head, where we have not gone to them and them say, no, we can't do that, or no, we need to rethink this. It's we come up with grandiose ideas because this is Las Vegas and everything's expected to push the envelope. We came in with that understanding at the beginning, but as you said, with the unknowns of how the fan base is going to react, how they're going to come in, how the team's going to perform. Listen, everything is better when the team's winning, and so far they're doing that in our favor. But that being said, we do have the high level expectation of production every single game. So it is having those high level in-game acts, the performances, everything around that. But we're not just using one or two areas. We're not just using an area of the field. We're not using our Raiders main stage. We've put a grand piano at the base of the torch. We've done live shots all across the field. We've done all these little things so far, but we are still in discovery. discovery. So we're going now into game 4, and as I mentioned, we've not had a rinse and repeat game. So what we come out of this game with is going to kind of direct us towards next week, or our week 5 game. And when we have that one too, then it's kind of saying, all right, well, now what more can we add? Can we add more lights? Can we add more show power? Can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? So where we landed after the week 1 game is going to be very different after this game. It's going to be very different in 2 weeks. And at the end of the season, whatever it lands, I can assuredly say it's going to be very different from what we kick off with next season, because we are still going through a lot of that discovery, but with always the foresight of what's the best fan experience, what gives them everything that people come to Las Vegas for, plus a football game. So when we can do live band acts, we can have all these different variety acts, and we were having talks with Cirque du Soleil and Jabberwockies and Chris Angel and all these different stunts, that's a whole next level thing, and it goes even beyond Justin and his team. It goes into the building and everything around Allegiant Stadium. And because of a lot of the work that the locals have done in this market with these types of shows, that's an advantage that we have that nowhere else does. And so allowing us to really reaffirm that and keep coming back to the well with new, fresh ideas so that every game is different aside from just the opponent on the ticket is what really makes us stand out.
The best is yet to come here, I'm sure. So I can say this with both of you now. Congrats on this build. Congrats on a great job. Well done. And enjoy it, because the fruits of your labor is now it's here now. So thanks for the time, guys. For more, please head over to sportsvideo.org for all the nice and fun reports from Allegiant Stadium.